we have learned to solve these kinds of simple linear equations in one variable. Friends, now in this session, we will learn how to solve some complex linear equation in one variable. Come on, let's start. Seema has been given this equation, and she is asked whether the equation is a linear equation in one variable or not. Now, as you can see that, in the entire equation, only one variable x is present. So we can say that this equation is definitely an equation in one variable. But variable x is present both in the denominator and the numerator on the left-hand side. So, is this a linear equation in one variable? What do you think? Let us help Seema find this out. As of now, this equation doesn't seem to be a linear equation in one variable because the variable x is in the denominator as well. But can we change such type of equations into linear equations in one variable? For this, we have to remove x from the denominator. How do we do this? We will have to multiply the left and right hand side with 2x minus 4. Thus, these two terms will get cancelled. So now, our equation will look like this. Now, after multiplying both the sides by 5, we will get the equation. So note, we have already seen many such types of equations in the previous sessions. This is a linear equation in one variable. Now look at these steps very carefully. Do you think we could have arrived at the equation in just one step? Let us see if this can be done. Let us move the expressions which are present in the denominators of both sides to the opposite side. When we do that, they are multiplied with the expressions already present in the numerators. So, 5 is moved from the denominator of the right-hand side to the numerator of the left-hand side, and 2x minus 4 is moved from the denominator of the left-hand side to the numerator on the right-hand side. We can see that we have got the same equation in just one step. We have seen here that the expressions of denominators are multiplied when they are moved to the other side. This method is called cross multiplication. Now we can see that this is a linear equation with one variable. When we remove the brackets on both sides of the equation, we get this equation. In the previous sessions, we have seen that how to solve these kinds of equations. We move the terms with variables to one side and move the terms with constants to the other side. And then we get this equation. Now we have to divide both sides by 3. And this way, we find the value of x is equal to 46 by 3. So, in this session, we saw how cross multiplication helps to solve complex linear equations in one variable. In the next session, we will see some more interesting examples to understand this concept better. In the last session, we studied how a simple method of cross multiplication can help to solve the complex linear equations in one variable. Friends, in this session, let us understand this method better with the help of an interesting example. Raj had 6 chocolates and Seema had 16 chocolates. As Seema had more chocolates, she gave some chocolates to Raj. Now, the ratio of the chocolates that Raj and Seema possess is 5:6. So can you tell me how many chocolates did Seema give to Raj? Let us see how we can approach this problem. What we know is that in the beginning, Raj had 6 chocolates and Seema had 16 chocolates. But out of that, Seema gave some chocolates away to Raj. We don't know how many chocolates Seema gave to Raj. We have learned that when we have something which is unknown, then we represent it with the help of a variable. So let us represent the number of chocolates which Seema gave to Raj by a variable x. Now because Seema gave x chocolates to Raj, so the number of chocolates left with Seema is 16 minus x, and the chocolates that Raj now has is 6 plus x. In this way, we get two expressions for the number of chocolates. That is, Seema's chocolates and Raj's chocolates. Let us move on to the next information we have. It is given that after Seema gave some chocolates to Raj, the ratio of number of chocolates of Raj and Seema is 5:6. Therefore, we can write this ratio in this way by using these expressions. So finally, we have got an equation. But don't you find this equation a bit complex? Let us make this equation easier. In the last session, we studied that such equations can be solved by the cross multiplication method. So the denominator of the left-hand side when going to the right-hand side will be multiplied to the numerator of the right-hand side. Similarly, the denominator of the right-hand side will be multiplied to the numerator after going to the left-hand side. Our equation will now look like this. Let us now remove the brackets. And be very careful at the time of removing the brackets. Ensure that all the terms inside the bracket are multiplied with the number outside the bracket. After removing the brackets, the equation will look like this. Now, all the terms with variable x are moved to the left-hand side and all the constants are moved to the right-hand side of the equation. Now, after adding the like terms and subtracting these two terms, we get this equation. Now to get rid of 11, we have to divide the equation by 11 on both sides. In this way, we find the value of x as 4. So, we can say that Seema gave 4 chocolates to Raj. In this session, we saw an interesting example of a complex linear equation in one variable. We can solve such equations very easily using the cross multiplication method. In the next session, we will look at some common mistakes related to difficult linear equations in one variable. In the previous sessions, we learned how to solve various linear equations in one variable. Friends, in this session, we will see some common mistakes related to this concept which can easily lead to confusions. Look at this equation. Can you tell me if it is a linear equation in one variable? We know that the equation is a linear equation in one variable when its highest power is 1. Notice that in this equation, the highest power of the variable is 1. So this should be a linear equation, isn't it? Wait, don't jump to any conclusion. Before we examine the highest power of the variable, we should try to simplify the equation. Do you remember how to simplify this equation? For this, in our previous session, we have seen the cross multiplication method. By cross multiplication method, we will get this equation. Now let us remove this bracket. Our next step looks like this. Now, after checking the highest power, we see that it is 2. So this is not a linear equation in one variable. With the help of this example, we have understood that Before we examine if the equation is a linear equation in one variable or not, we have to change it to its simplest form. Let us see one more common misconception. Suppose we have this equation. Can you find the value of x here? This is very simple equation to solve, isn't it? If we simplify the left-hand side, we get this. Now, we will send 6 to the right-hand side. We will now get 0 on the right-hand side. So, what should we do now? Most of us think that there is no solution to x. But it is not so. Can you tell what does this equation tell us? This equation tells us that the value of x is the number that gives us 0 when it is multiplied with 3. Do you know any such number? Absolutely correct. 0 is the only number which can do so. So the answer is 0. Hence, the value of x is 0. There is one more method to find this answer. In this equation, we divide both sides by 3 and then we find 0 by 3 on the right-hand side, which is equal to 0. We get x is equal to 0. So in this session, we have seen two types of mistakes that we do when we solve linear equations in one variable.